Premieres tonight at 10 on FX. Next day, FX on Hulu.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, FuturisticMike, and I'm back with another Snowfall video if you're new. Now, this is going to be the review and recap for Snowfall Season 4, Episode 6. If you're a fan of Snowfall, if you love Snowfall, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so when I post videos on Snowfall, you get them. Now, the title to this episode is Say a Little Prayer, and we know why the episode was titled that because, you know, when Fatback was dying, Khadijah told him to say a little prayer. Not that the prayer was even going to work because Khadijah already made up her mind. You know, she was going to kill him no matter what. So rest in peace, Fatback. And in this episode, we found out that Reed's brother died. Louis told Jerome that Reed is CIA. And Louis and Jerome went to Arkansas to try to move some rock, to try to put some people on so they can expand their business. Those are some of the main things that happened in this episode, but I'm just going to get right into the recap. Now, when the episode first starts, we see Reed laying down. He gets a phone call. He answers the call. It's his father calling about his brother. His father says that his brother Matthew has died, and Reed is wondering why he didn't tell him sooner. His father said, "You're lucky I called you at all." So Reed said he's going to be there as soon as he can to go to the funeral. And his dad told him that the funeral was yesterday. And his dad also told him that he's been dead for 2 weeks. So that's crazy, man. He waited this long to call him and tell him. And that would mess anybody up, man. Like if somebody in your family died and somebody waited weeks and weeks to call you and tell you, that would mess you up. That would make you want to go drink and do some crazy things. And his dad also said to him, it should have been you rather than your brother. So he really said some messed up stuff to him, but we know that Reed and his dad never got along anyways. When Reed went to go visit him in previous seasons, you know, they did not have a decent conversation. Now next we see Wanda. She's detoxing. She's still in the hospital. She's trying to get better. You know, the nurses are kind of forcing her to get better. I don't know if it's really her decision because we know that she didn't really want to be in the hospital and Leon forced her in the previous episode. But she is doing it. We see Wanda laying there and a whole bunch of time is passing. We see the nurses trying to bring her food and stuff. She throws some food at the TV because she ain't trying to hear nothing Reagan has to say. Next we see Peaches and Franklin, and Peaches is trying to pick a lock. And Franklin asks where he learned that from. He says like from Chicago or something. So they try to get in the room to get some of the money because they don't have the key. Louis ain't there. Then they go outside. They're trying to make a run. And Detective Stern comes up with his officers and he's questioning Franklin. He wants to know what's going on, what they're doing. And he also wants to know where Leon is at. He said a little girl has died and somebody's going to pay for it. But he wants to look in the trunk and see what they have. One of the officers grab Franklin and throw him on the car. And they have to give the keys to Detective Stern. He opens up the trunk and there ain't nothing in there but some stereo equipment. Now next we see Scully with Khadijah and Manboy. He comes in there too. Manboy says, "What are you doing? Redecorating or something?" And Khadijah says that Scully thinks God is after them ever since he hung up Manboy's boy on a cross. But Khadijah says that Leon needs to get got. She said that Manboy is too worried about finding Franklin's plug instead of Tiana's killer. And Manboy said Tiana is blood. He's gonna do whatever he has to do to get revenge for her. Next we see Franklin in the apartment with Leon, and Leon is not doing good at all. Franklin asks how he's holding up. He said he's not doing good, and Leon feels like this is his fault. Franklin said that it ain't his fault though because they shouldn't have had the kid in there to begin with. And this is exactly what I was saying at the end of episode 4. Them boys should have never had Tiana in the car to begin with. You know, Khadijah should have known better. She shouldn't have been in that car. So that's what Franklin's trying to tell Leon, that it's not on him. And he's saying that it is. Like, it's his fault. You know, he can't get over it. He killed a little kid. And I do feel where he's coming from. Killing a little kid by mistake would mess with you for life. You would never get over that. Now next we see Louis and Jerome pulling up to her friend's house. Some woman she's known since she was little. They're in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they're just talking to him, they're welcoming them to their house. You can tell that Jerome, he really don't want to be there, but he's acting friendly. Louie's friend introduces them to her daughter, and Louie says, "Congratulations, I didn't know you were pregnant." And she tries to play around with Louie and says, "What do you mean? I ain't pregnant." But, she was just messing around with her. Louie and Jerome are going to try to teach them how to move rock. They're going to try to expand Franklin's business, and hopefully these people do not mess the game up. Hopefully they don't get exposed. They don't start doing dumb stuff to expose Franklin's operation. We also see this other kid come out that's staying with them, and they introduce him to Louie and Jerome. Next, we see Franklin and Leon. They go to visit Fatback, and he's just sitting there eating. He's laying low, and he said, "How is everything out there? I ain't been on the outside in a minute. I've just been inside laying low and stuff like that." And Franklin and Leon wanted to talk to him about taking the rap. Franklin says that, "Look, you're part of the game. You have to do what you have to do for our crew. I promise, I'll make it worth it for you. If you go and turn yourself in and do the time, I promise you'll have more money than you ever made when you get out." He said, "Unfortunately, this is just what you have to do. You have to take one for the team." And Fatback says, "Look, man, if I go in there and do that, I'm going to get like 50 years. And they don't play around with people that killed kids in there." But he feels like he has to do it for the team, and he agrees to do it. Next, we see Wanda. She's getting out of the hospital, and she's looking around like she don't know what to do now that she's clean and now that she's out in the world. Then next, we see Louie teaching her girl how to cook some rock. They got masks on their face and stuff, and they're cooking. And she says that she's so proud of Louie. She says Louie has really made a life for herself. She owns a club. She's like a millionaire and stuff like that. And Louie says that she's proud of her too. And she's like, "Which part? The job at Walmart or the Piggly Wiggly?" And Louie says, "Stop, cut that out. You got a house, a good man and everything. Like, I am proud of you." Then we see Jerome sitting with your boy Chris D. Lofton. And I was super excited to see him in this episode. He does an amazing job in this episode. He does great work in everything he's in. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in Power Book 4 Force as well. But yeah, Jerome is just trying to teach him everything he needs to know about the game, how to move it and stuff like that. He tells him how it's going to be in the future if he sticks with it. Then we see Louie showing her the rock when it's finished, the finished product. Then we hear guns getting shot off because Jerome asked dude if he wanted to shoot off some machine guns. So Louie and her friend go over there, and Johnny is just shooting off rounds and stuff, and his girl says, "Look, I got next." Next, we see Franklin and Leon dropping off Fatback to turn himself in, and they're like, "Look, everything's gonna be all right." And he gets out the car and he goes in. Then next, we see everybody, they're looking at the finished product with Louie and Jerome, and they're talking about smoking it and trying it out. And Louie says, "Man, you can do coke, but you cannot do rock." She says that stuff is the most addictive stuff that she's ever seen. And they're talking about, "What you mean we can't smoke it? Like, we need to try out what we're selling and stuff." And I have a feeling they're gonna mess the pack up, man. They're gonna mess some stuff up if they want to smoke it so bad. Like, they were really acting like they wanted to smoke the hell out of this product. And Louie was telling them that it cannot happen. Then next we see Wanda, she's walking on the streets at night and she has nowhere to go. So we see her putting down her little bag from the hospital of her belongings, and she's sleeping on that as a pillow. Then we see Franklin come into the club, and Reed is there tripping. Tanase says to Franklin that somebody's there looking for him. So Franklin goes up to Reed, and he's all drunk out of his mind, saying that Franklin never does what he's supposed to do, and he's just going on and going crazy. And, Franklin is trying to calm him down. He says that he'll talk to him later when he's sober and stuff. This dude is just tripping because he lost his brother. He's doing coke, drinking and stuff like that. And then when Reed walks away, he says, "Look, Franklin, everybody is replaceable. And I mean everybody." So he was basically telling Franklin to get his shit together or he's gonna replace him. And I have a feeling, man, that Manboy is gonna find a way to reach Reed. And maybe Manboy will start messing with Reed or something. I just have a feeling that's gonna happen. And Franklin's gonna have to take care of Manboy in season 5 because Manboy is gonna try to take the Empire. Now next we see Louie and Jerome in the bedroom, and pretty much Jerome, he just does not want to be there. He feels like he doesn't fit in. He feels like the room that they're sleeping in is not for him. He feels like the entire place is not for him. And he also thinks that these people are not ready to move the rock, to move their product. And he's just saying how he feels to Louie. And then he's packing his bags and he says he's going to stay at a hotel. Then next we see Thaddeus Fatback Barber on the news. And dude on the news is saying how he got charged with 3 different charges or something like that. And Franklin and Leon are watching. And Franklin says, don't worry, I'm going to get the money and have him out by tonight. Then Leon gets a call and it's from Wanda. And she's saying that she has nowhere to go. She doesn't know what else to do. And he was the only person that she could call. Leon says that he has enough stuff to worry about right now. And he can't worry about her. He says that he has a place that she can go to if she's desperate. Now next we see Khadijah up in the kitchen and she's whipping something up, man. She's putting bleach in the pot. She's putting all types of solutions in there and shit. She's whipping up something crazy up in that kitchen. And Scully walks in there like, what are you doing? What are you cooking? And she just said, she's whipping something up. And obviously if you watch the episode, you know what she was using this for. Then we see Fatback walking out. He just got out of jail. And at this point, I'm thinking, Franklin got him out. But once you see what happens, you know that Franklin wasn't the one that got him out. Some girl is out there waiting for Fatback, and he's like, what's up? She says, what's good, man? Franklin and Leon sent me to show you a good time. And Fatback's like, shit, all right. Fatback is ready to go, man. He just spent the night in jail. He's just trying to get him some. He's trying to smash some cheeks. He ain't even thinking right. Then we see this girl driving Fatback to some warehouse or some abandoned place or whatever. It just looks sketchy. And she's talking about she's gonna give him a threesome with her and her girl. And Fatback is ready, man. He's about ready to kiss her and stuff. And here comes Khadijah, man. She sneaks up behind him with a rag, and it's soaked in that stuff that she was whipping up in the kitchen, man. And this stuff right here, it made Fatback pass the hell out, man. He got laid out from that shit. I guess Khadijah was not playing, man. She couldn't find Leon, so she went with Fatback. Now next we see Franklin laying with T, and he just got done smashing, obviously, because they're naked. And, they're just talking. Franklin asks how her brother's doing. I guess he's locked up or whatever. She's telling him how her brother is, that he's scared and everything. And they're just talking. But Franklin gets a page, and he gets up, makes a call to Fatback's lawyer. And his lawyer is wondering why the hell Fatback is out. The lawyer is thinking that maybe Franklin did something else with another person to get Fatback out. And Franklin is like, no, I gave you the money. I need this handled with you. Like, I don't know how he got out. So next we see Fatback laying there tied up. Khadijah and her girl are just standing there. Khadijah is asking questions. Fatback is saying, look, F you. I didn't kill your daughter. I'm sorry about what happened to your daughter, but I had nothing to do with it. And I don't know where Leon is at. And Khadijah kept on asking over and over again, where's Leon? I don't think she was going to let Fatback live anyways, but she kept asking him and he wasn't giving her no type of answers. Fatback was staying loyal and she ended up just stabbing him. She stabbed him once. She cut him in the side of his ribs the first time. And then, after she questioned him some more, she just started going ham on him. I mean, she just started stabbing him up, stabbing over and over again. And rest in peace, Fatback. I gotta say that Fatback probably got one of the worst deaths on this show. Probably the worst, in my opinion. Then next we see Little Rock, Arkansas. They're there having a party, having a good time. And they're celebrating because they're about to get rich because of Louie and Jerome. And Louie is telling them bye and everything. And then she gets in the car with Jerome. And he's talking about getting out of the game. He says they don't need to do this no more. They have everything they want. And this is when Louis tells him that Reed is CIA, and she says even if they wanted to stop, they could not. And Jerome is like, really? So Franklin is in Reed's pocket, and she says, look, we're all in Reed's pocket, so we cannot stop. And Jerome seems super disappointed because he didn't know about this. He asked how long Louis knew about this, and she said about a year. Now, next we see Reed on the ground. Gustavo comes in and tells Reed that somebody's there for him, and Reed goes downstairs, and it's the dude that's in charge of the whole operation, and he's wondering what's going on with the missing gun shipment and stuff like that. And Reed says that he's gonna have to go to Panama or Nicaragua or something like that. And then he asked if Gustavo can take care of everything while he's gone. Then we see Franklin and Peaches come up to the club, and Fatback is literally just laying there, dead as hell. I mean, there's blood everywhere. This dude's cut up. And what I want to know is how the hell did they drag Fatback's big ass all the way to the club? Then we see Leon arguing with Franklin. He says, man, you told Fatback everything was gonna be okay. This is your fault. And I understand why Leon is so pissed off and upset, but honestly, he has no business yelling at Franklin. I mean, Franklin is the reason why Leon is out of trouble, so he needs to watch it when it comes to yelling at Franklin. I mean, yeah, Franklin technically did get Fatback killed, but Leon don't need to be yelling at him like that. Now next we see Wanda walking down the street, and one of her old crackhead buddies come up to her and ask if she had anything, and she says she don't do that shit no more. And then she goes to the shelter where Elton works, the shelter that Elton owns, and she says her name is Wanda Bell and she needs a place to stay. So Elton tells her to go and check in and everything's gonna be all right. And then we see Irene, the reporter, come in once again, and Elton says, look, I told you what it was, you need to get out of here. I'm not talking to you. And Irene says, man, I know everything about the CIA, Franklin, and everything. You're gonna talk to me. You have no choice, or I'm gonna expose this place. I'm gonna expose your shelter and focus on your family. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow, and I need an answer then. Like, you have to talk to me. So she's pretty much threatening Elton at this point. And then we just see Elton looking crazy, like he's just thinking he doesn't know what to do. So it's getting crazy. And that's the end of the episode. It was a crazy ass episode, man. I can't believe they did Fatback like that. Rest in peace, Fatback. Things are getting intense. They're getting super crazy, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. We got 4 episodes left, and I cannot wait. Comment your thoughts down below. What did you think of this episode? Let me know your theories, thoughts, predictions, and everything else. Keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all Snowfall content in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. If you guys want to donate to the channel, I got links below to the PayPal and Cash App accounts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy, FuturisticMike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.